Lecture 26 The Second, Why Leaders Should Ask, Part 2. Understanding parts in the context of the whole. In my previous discussion, I introduced the first principle of systems thinking: the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. From this principle, we can derive the second principle, understanding the parts within the whole. For example, a company is a system, and its employees are parts of that system. If an employee is not performing well, you cannot simply analyze that employee in isolation. Instead, you must understand the part within the whole system. This means placing the employee within a larger system and analyzing their connections with other parts. If there are issues with those connections, you must consider larger factors, such as company policies. Do you remember the example of little Mario and the waiter from my previous lecture? He did not simply analyze the waiter or the restaurant in isolation, but instead placed the problem within a larger system. Little Mario was also a master of systems thinking. Let's return to the case of the three stonemasons. To understand the parts within the whole, we must place the three stonemasons within the system. You may have noticed why management experts consider the third stonemason to be the most reliable. He understands the overall goal of the system, which is to build a cathedral. Although he is only a part, he keeps the overall goal in mind and ensures that his personal goals align with the requirements of the system. The third stonemason is not overly ambitious or neglectful of his duties. On the contrary, he understands his role at a deeper and higher level, and more accurately understands his responsibilities. 5. The optimization of a certain part is not necessarily beneficial to the whole. To truly understand why the third stonemason is a better employee than the second, we must first understand the third principle of systems thinking: optimizing a part does not necessarily benefit the whole. This principle is derived from the second principle, which states that we must understand the parts within the whole. In a system, the parts serve the whole. We often need to optimize a part to better serve the whole, but this optimization must serve the whole, not just the part itself. If you optimize a part too much, it may not benefit the whole. A scholar named Akoff specialized in applying systems thinking to management. He liked to use the example of replacing a modern car engine with a Rolls-Royce engine. The modern car may not even start with the Rolls-Royce engine. An organization is a more complex system than a car. The engine of a car does not have the motivation to optimize itself, but an organization is made up of people, and each individual and department has the motivation to optimize itself. Returning to the case of the three stonemasons, the second stonemason said, "I am doing the best stonework in the country." What does this statement mean? It means he is optimizing himself as a part. He is only thinking about his own goals, not the overall goals of the system. For example, to build a cathedral, some stones may need to be carved very finely, while others may not. However, the second stonemason may say, "I want to carve every stone very finely to show that I am doing the best stonework in the country." This is optimizing a part, which benefits his personal goals but may not benefit the overall goals of the system. By now, you should understand why the second stonemason is the most concerning, not the third or the first. Some people may think the first stonemason is the most concerning because he lacks passion and motivation. In fact, every organization has people like the first stonemason, and they are often not in the minority. Their passion and motivation come from external incentives such as money and promotion. As long as the organization provides these incentives, they can work well. Why is the second stonemason more concerning than the first? It is precisely because he has passion and motivation, but his goals are not completely aligned with the goals of the organization. 6. The sixth principle is a leadership mantra: why? Now that you understand the importance of systems thinking, you may be wondering how to develop your own systems thinking skills. I will teach you a simple method: ask why. In the previous lecture on decision making, I said to ask why to find the root cause of a problem. This is the first type of why. In systems thinking, we also ask why, but not to find the cause. Instead, we ask why to find the system's goal, which is the starting point of systems thinking. We can call this the second type of why. The third stonemason asked the second type of why are we carving stones? He found the answer, to build a cathedral. Therefore, all actions must serve this system goal.